Hi everyone, it's Dr. Brett here from the Momentum Revolution, and this week our topic is going to be about negative self-talk, because we all do it. Every single one of us do it, and sometimes it can be a real problem if it takes control. And for me, it took control of my life for many years, because I believed everything I said to myself, and it was all negative shit. So we can be really tough on ourselves when it comes to this negative self-talk. Probably tougher on ourselves than what other people are with us. And we wouldn't let our worst enemies or our best mates talk to us or speak to us like we speak to ourselves. And that self-talk, that negative self-talk, that self-criticism can be really destructive. And by slamming our characteristics, our behavior, our perceived shortcomings, and I mean perceived shortcomings because a lot of times it's just in our head and it's not true. The feelings like that we're not good enough, that we're not living up to expectations, that we're not achieving what we expect to do, and then berating ourselves for it is just a recipe for disaster. And it just can send us into this tailspin, into low self-worth, no self-belief, and all it does is reinforce what we can't do, not what we can do. And when we self-criticize, we can self-criticize in all different aspects of our life, and that can include relationships, health, work, intelligence, looks, and the list goes on. So here's some things you might recognize that you say to yourself. And these are some of the things or examples that some of the things I've said to myself, but also some examples from other people as well. You're lazy and you don't deserve to be promoted. You fucked up again. You're such an idiot. You're such a waste of time. You're so stupid. You look ridiculous in this. What are you fucking thinking? Just lose some weight, you fucking no-hoper. She's not good enough for you anyway, or he's not good enough for you anyway. I'm not good at English. I'm not good at maths. I'm not good at this. I'm not good at that. I can't remember names. I'm not athletic. And it's all my fault. And we don't just say these sort of things once and twice here and there. We can say things, negative things to ourselves over and over and over again, day in, day out. And all it does is reinforce the negative beliefs that aren't really true anyway. And we've just picked up those negative false beliefs on our journey of life. And we need to stop that. We need to stop that negative bullshit. And I'll go back to emotions, but there's almost always emotions that are attached behind this sort of talk. And the emotions are usually the fear, the shame, and the guilt, the big three. And negative self-talk can really cause some negative effects on our life, which includes like increasing the risk of having mental health issues. It can also decrease our motivation and even feel more helpless than we already do. It can increase our stress levels because we feel like that we're not achieving or being who we should be or want to be. And it can also lower our ability to see opportunities as they come along. And not only that, but if we do see them, it decreases our abilities to actually capitalize on those opportunities. And again, all that does is just increases our stress levels and it alters our perceptions about what we can and can't do. It's this negative tailspin, this negative cycle of just reinforcing the negative. It can also limit our thinking. The more we tell ourselves that we can't do something, the more we believe it. And then there's the perfectionism, which is a whole different thing again. But when we have this negative self-talk, we believe that good enough isn't enough or great isn't good. And then we want to try and perfect something. And we believe that perfection is actually something we can achieve, and it's not. And they've actually found that people who are high achievers, not perfectionists, do better than perfectionists because they are happy with working the way they are and what they've done, but they're not prepared to sit down and look at what didn't work in that particular project, but what did work really well. And so the perceptions are different. And one of the most and then you've got obviously relationships, having that constant self-criticism can make someone look like they are either needy or insecure. And that is something some partners just can't cope with or deal with in the long term. But one of the most important things about negative self-talk, it's not positive. And research has shown that having positive self-talk is a great predictor of success. And what we need to do is minimize this self-talk. We have to stop it because it's become a habit for a lot of us. I know it was for me for 30 years, probably longer than that. It was just a habit, and we form these habits, and it's really hard to break them. So there are different strategies that you can use. And I'll run through a few of these now, and I hope they help. Just find the one that works for you, because not all of them work for everyone. The first thing is to be aware when you're talking to yourself in a negative way. And the first thing you have to do is stop. Stop. That's not true. And these are the words you use yourself. Stop. That's not true. I'm going to replace it with something that's positive. Like, I'm not good enough. No, stop. I am good enough, and I'm perfect just the way I am. You're a loser. No, stop. I'm not a loser. I'm actually working to be very, very successful. That's the sort of stuff that you need to do, and be aware of it and do it every single time. You also, another way to do it is give yourself a nickname, or give that critic, that negative self-talk, a nickname. And there's like Nigel the negative, or Dorothy the downer. And their characteristics are, these little characters in your head, all they do is see the negativity and everything. So when you say something negative, it's like, oh, you're nothing but, you're terrible, you're no good to yourself. You go, sorry, Nigel, he's playing his games again. He can bugger off. I'm taking over now. No, I am good enough. And by creating this little character in your head, what happens is you actually divide between someone else saying it and what you're saying. So if someone else is saying it, like Nigel's saying it and not me, then I can say, you know what, I can disregard that, but I'm going to take on board what I say. So use that. And then I love this one, and I call it slapstick. And with a slapstick, if something happens like you're not good enough, you're a loser, and that's what you say to yourself, you go, no, stop, that's not true. But then play it back like it was in the 1920s from the silent movies. And it's really fast, and they're really quick. It's like, you're not good and you're a loser. It's to, you're not good, you're a loser, you're not good, you're not good. And you give it a high-pitched voice, a funny voice, and make it lyrics. And when you actually do that, it actually takes the seriousness of that negativity out of the comment. And then you replace it with, you know what, I am good enough, and I am going to be successful because I'm working towards it every single day. And that's the sort of stuff you have to say to yourself. And the last one is, if you hear the critic go off, go, stop. How would I speak if this was a friend or a child? Would you speak to them with love and compassion and support and thoughtfulness and caring and gratitude? Or would you berate them and be negative? Of course, you'd be the first one. So if you're going to do that to your friend, to a child, then do it to yourself. Let's stop the negative talk. Let's reinforce the positive. And if we do this every day, every single day, then all of a sudden that negative spiral turns into a positive one. And we start believing the positive things we say, and we lose the negative bullshit that we tell ourselves. Until next time, I'm Dr. Brett. Have a great week. Peace, love, and healing. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.